This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. I've been using Anchor as my podcast host for a while now, and it's been a pleasure to use. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part, and you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Thursday, May 12th, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From the New York Times, Russia-Ukraine War Summary. The U.S. Director of National Intelligence has said that the U.S. intelligence community strongly suspects Russia is settling in for a long conflict in Ukraine, rather than seriously seeking any kind of peace deal. There would seem to be slow progress, but progress, for Russian forces for the first time in weeks in the eastern Ukrainian Donbas region, and at the same time, Ukrainian forces seem to be making counterattack progress in Russian-held parts of the north. One of the potentially more significant stories out of Ukraine over the past few days is the shutdown of some gas pipelines from Russia that passed through Ukraine into Europe. Gas heading west via one of only 2 main entry points stopped yesterday because Russian forces have claimed key components of the pipeline and are siphoning some of the gas for separatist forces in the region, according to Ukrainian officials, who also said they would reroute the gas as soon as possible to get it flowing again. But Russian gas giant Gazprom says rerouting the gas isn't possible. And the whole mess has sent already high gas prices in Europe still higher, as imports are expected to drop by about 18%. From Axios, U.S. surpassed 100,000 overdose deaths in 2021. Provisional data from the National Center for Health Statistics show that more than 100,000 U.S. citizens died of drug overdoses in 2021, which is higher than in any other year on record. That's a 15% increase from overdose deaths the previous year, up to around 107,622, compared to 93,655 in 2020. And the majority of these deaths, both years, involved opioids, especially synthetic opioids, like fentanyl, which is far more powerful and thus potentially dangerous compared to other types of painkillers. And from the Associated Press, New Mexico wildfire advances in Rocky Mountains foothills. A wildfire that has already consumed more than 370 square miles, which is about 958 square kilometers of land, is still churning through northern New Mexico, burning up to 50 square miles a day, while fueled by drought-dry conditions and unseasonably high winds. This fire is partly the consequence of a preventative fire that was set to clear brush and small trees in advance of wildfire season, but which escaped containment because of unusually high winds and a whole lot of available fuel, before merging with another wildfire a few weeks later. Other fires are burning elsewhere in New Mexico and Arizona right now, but this one alone is keeping more than 1,800 firefighters and support personnel busy, and a federal disaster has been declared to help muster the resources necessary to bring it under control. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com, and you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts, at understandery.com.